What up, everyone, and welcome to another episode here at All Type Media. And today we have something very special because we have the Wrestlemania 42 card, and we're gonna be booking this card. And of course, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna bring my boy Dollywood Don in the house. What up, bro? How you doing?
What is up? Nothing is finer than Dollywood Don C, as we all know. And of course, if you're going to do a WrestleMania show, what would be a wrestling show without God's gift to wrestling himself, Don C?
Don C, before we start, I want people to know how long we go back. We go back all the way to high school. We ain't going to say the year because we're not going to tell on ourselves right now. But do you remember HCWF?
I remember the Latino Dream. I remember Thomas and Raydell. I remember everything about HCWF, including the booking of HCWF, which it guarantees us we are going to book a better WrestleMania, and we haven't done it since high school.
Definitely. And for those of you, well, nobody's going to know what HCWF is, but basically when we were in high school, we started our own wrestling promotion in high school, and we were having these matches. Imagine nowadays with all these cell phones and everything, we would have went viral a long time ago.
I say it all the time. I am so thankful that we did not have camera phones back then. Because think about it. There was an episode where Thomas got his arm broke in the middle of a match.
He did.
The only reason that none of us got in trouble was because none of us snitched. If there was video of it, we would have been in so much trouble.
Oh my God, that is so crazy, dude. I remember we used to be by the stairs, man, and have our own Royal Rumbles and everything. Oh my God, it was just, it was
the
nuts.
principals and the security guards would raid it. They would come in like gangbusters and we'd have to run. Oh, it was a good time, man. And our high school wasn't like the biggest high school in the world. Like everybody knew what we were doing.
Yeah, it was
everybody knew what we were doing.
And the funny thing is, we had a title belt made of aluminum. Remember, aluminum foil. And we would carry it through the high school like nothing, dude.
Do you remember when the principal got his hands on it?
Yes.
Do you remember when the principal got his hands on it and threw it away? Yeah.
Yes. So that's how far we go back. And we used to book our matches. We're going to try to book this WrestleMania because WrestleMania 42 is going to come live from Las Vegas, Nevada next weekend. And, well, this weekend coming up. So how do you feel, before we start, how do you feel about WrestleMania being held again in Las Vegas?
I've loved Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas. I think Las Vegas is great. Las Vegas has probably the best football stadium that I've seen in a very long time. There's something about Vegas' stadium that I absolutely love. I don't know if it's the color scheme of it in the desert. There's just something about it that I genuinely love. The problem is not the location of WrestleMania, not this year at least. Next year, the problem's totally going to be location of WrestleMania. I'm against that 100%. I'm sorry, you don't sell your soul for blood money. That's besides the point of this WrestleMania.
I agree, though.
I don't have a problem with it being in Vegas. I don't. I think Vegas is a great place for it. It's a gambler's community. It's a tourist hub. There's a lot of stuff you could do just in the Vegas Strip and all that could get a lot of people excited for Mania.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I agree or disagree. I'm in between, but I could see why people are not going again because there is just so much to do in Las Vegas, and it has gotten so expensive that if you would have went to Louisiana like they were supposed to, it would have been way cheaper. If you think about it.
Yeah, but you also had to figure like the tourist wise. For your tourist dollar, Las Vegas blows Louisiana out of the water.
It does, but it's something people already did that. I don't think they want to do it 2 years, in a row. They can go and there's a lot of culture in Louisiana. I mean, that strip in Louisiana is off the chain. It's off the chain. So I think you could have got something done. If not, why not bring it back to Florida where I'm at? I love my WrestleManias here because I get to go. So
no, WrestleMania never has to be in Florida again. Nobody ever should be in Florida. I don't know why you're in Florida. There's the only three things that ever need to be in Florida: the big roaches that they got everywhere, and them iguanas that come out in the morning to greet you every time you walk out your hotel room.
Listen, man, I'd rather be here than back in Cleveland shoveling snows. Okay, I don't want to be shoveling snow.
We have not had snow in 2 whole days. Okay,
2 whole days.
Dude, we had more fatal accidents. You know, have you ever drove past the highway and saw the sign on the side of the road that says it's been 45 days since there's been a fatal accident? Yeah. We've had more fatal accident time than we've had days without snow, and it's April.
Dang, dude. That's hilarious. I'm going to tell you, I go to Cleveland, and you know, I'm from Cleveland, but I go to Cleveland to see my daughter because she's there, my family. But I also like to go to Cleveland. I like to go see the Cavs, you know, and the Guardians. I need to go see the Browns. I'm going to go see the Browns here when they come here, but I haven't seen the Browns in Cleveland, and I want to go and see them before they close the stadium.
I can't invest money in a team that I don't think is investing their money properly. You get what I'm saying? I don't believe that they have a good ownership, therefore we'll never have a good team. Now the Cavs, I support the Cavs because they're putting their money where their mouth is and trying to create a winner. The Guardians, it's like a punch in the face to have to say that team's name.
Right. Well, yes, I agree with that, but the team is good. The team at least is good.
The team is good. The team is good, yes. Now,
I'm going to tell you, the Cavs, they're the ones, that's a team that I love the most, and I love that team forever. But I'll tell you off camera, but last year when Cleveland played Golden State, as a gift for my son, they got us tickets in the owner's box, in Dan Gilbert's box.
Nice.
We were there, and they put us in the front row, and we can get free food. We got to go on the court and everything. It was the best gift my son ever had, and there was a friend of mine who had connections and put us there in the owner's box, and that was like the coolest experience ever. But the Browns, I'm very invested in the Browns because even though the owner is not as invested as he should, but I root for those players, man. You got Myles Garrett, man. I root for Shedeur Sanders like crazy, but we're getting off track. So let's get back to WrestleMania because
hold on. No, we started this. Give me 1 second. Can I give you my opinion on Myles Garrett real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I love Myles Garrett. I think he's great. I think he's great for the city of Cleveland. I think he does a lot. But trade that guy and let him get a ring. You know Cleveland's never going to give him a ring.
I don't disagree.
Trade him to a winner.
But I truly think, and I'm a true believer, if they let Shedeur grow, because the problem with Cleveland is they don't let the quarterbacks grow. They don't allow them to grow. They didn't allow Baker to grow. They don't allow anybody to grow. Okay? So you got to give him years. Look at Baker right now in Tampa. All right? If you give Shedeur a chance, instead of talking about next year, let's draft a quarterback, let this kid grow, and you will see what happens. Okay?
Let him learn.
Yes, you have to. That's what happened with Josh Allen, you know, for example. And Buffalo let him grow, and look at Josh Allen now. But I think if they let him grow, they have a good chance in some years from now to be a contender. So that is an area of growth that they can do. Okay? All right. So let's get to this WrestleMania card. Oh, you got one more thing?
Nope. That was enough of the Cleveland sports talk. I would just like to say Tampa Bay is my favorite football team next to the Cleveland Browns. So I'm absolutely over the moon that they got Baker Mayfield. At least they got a quality quarterback out of the deal.
Yes. I love Baker, by the way. All right, so let's start with this WrestleMania card. As you know, this is the first time they're going to have the first hour on ESPN2. As you know, they have a deal with ESPN, and they're going to have the first 2 matches. The one thing that I don't like is that since it's that 1 hour, you know those matches are going to be very timed. But let's talk about those matches. The first match is going to be the 6-man tag team match between Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight. And the way this is going to work is that Dawn is going to be booking this card, and I'm going to be critiquing whether I agree or disagree. So what is your booking for this match?
Okay, let's start it just a few minutes before this match. We are backstage. They come out, they announce John Cena is the host. He comes up to the beginning of the rampway. He welcomes everybody, announces the number of attendees. Then we turn to Danhausen, who finds his way onto the stage, and he asked and requests that he becomes the assistant to the host. He wants to be the co-hosthausen, if you will. And John Cena's like, it's not in the budget. We only had enough for one host. I'm the guy. I kind of do this thing. I just retired. And Danhausen goes, fine. You are cursed.
Curse.
That being said, we kick into the first match. You have I Show Speed, Logan Paul, Austin Theory against the Usos and LA Knight.
Right.
I think this match kind of goes to Logan Paul and Austin Theory and LA Knight, and I think the Usos kind of turn against LA Knight and walk out.
You mean that I Show Speed?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't think the Usos and LA Knight win. I think you get that finally awaited for turn of Jey Uso, which comes back to play later on in WrestleMania when we get to the CM Punk thing. I think you're starting to see that turning kind of over the soil of everybody who turned against Roman now starting to go back to being a heel. So I'm thinking that's going to be that'll be the opening catalyst for that.
Okay.
I don't believe
I see what you're saying. I like it. Right. I like it. Let me go back to the John Cena and Danhausen. I really love the fact that he curses John Cena, but I would really like if John Cena allows him to be the host with him, and then later on you build to that curse. And somehow something happens to John Cena and Danhausen finishes WrestleMania at the end, okay, as the host. So we can see something like that. But I love it. I do love it. Danhausen coming out. Now the match, I also love the result, and I think that has to be the result just because I Show Speed is on that match. And that's talking without talking about the characters or development of the story. But I Show Speed being the social media star that he is, right? And you put him on ESPN2, his team gotta win somehow. But I kind of see it going either way, and I'm gonna tell you why. I love you continuation of having the Usos betraying LA Knight and then that paying off later on night 2. I love that because that'd be a great continuation. But I honestly don't know what they're doing with LA Knight because every time he looks like a fool. LA Knight always looks like the fool. But
you send him on his revenge arc after this.
But it has been done. But it has been done, and he always loses. It's something they've done before, and he always loses. You know?
Yeah, they just don't have enough faith in him. They really don't. I don't think they know how to book him to get him over. I mean, he's over, but I don't think they know how to book him to be a champion.
But another thing that I can see here, and I'm gonna tell you the other thing that I can see here, is a WrestleMania 15. Mike Tyson ripping his shirt and having the DX shirt of I Show Speed betraying Logan Paul and Austin Theory and ended up being with the faces. That will be my twist. What are your thoughts about that twist?
Well, because he doesn't want to be a heel to begin with. But if you watch lately, he's kind of getting into that character, though. I think it's kind of intriguing him. It's the don't eat the apple kind of thing. You don't. Right. The only reason I'm focused on the apple is because you told me I can't have it. Now I'm interested in it. So he's kind of leaning more towards that now.
But the only way I could see that happening is if he were to stay, if he was signed to stay like Logan Paul or Pat McAfee, you know? I don't see him.
He doesn't have a long-term deal.
So I don't see him turning. You might be right, you know, but I think that a Mike Tyson moment could happen here, but I do like your idea more because of the continuation. Okay?
All right, let's move on to the next match.
So let's go to the next match, which is the unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. And before I'll let you book, let me just say one thing about Drew McIntyre. For the past 3 years or so, Drew McIntyre has been the MVP of this company. everything he touches has turned to gold. His rivalry with CM Punk, his rivalry even with Damian Priest, now with Cody Rhodes, with Jacob Fatu, he has been the MVP. Go ahead. I leave the floor to you.
Here's where we go with this. And honestly, this makes him the MVP again in this whole WrestleMania weekend. Drew and Jacob Fatu, if done right, can come out as big, if not bigger, than the Rowdy Piper Goldust backstage brawl. And this is how you do it. You start it backstage. You have them battle. You have them destroy everything in the set. Drew, trying to run away, jumps in a car and takes off. Now you have Jacob somehow commandeer another vehicle and follow him. It takes you to the Las Vegas Strip, but not the new strip, the old strip.
Okay.
With the music and the lights over top of the head. I forget the name of the street. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it.
Yeah.
They battle all the way up and down this street. In each one of them little areas where they have people dancing and doing their things, you see each one of them as they're going by, and they're just fighting all the way through this whole strip, right? They get to Heart Attack Grill. That's where the if you don't finish your food, you have to tie yourself to the thing and they whip you. Well, they end up in there with Jacob Fatu tied up to the thing and Drew whipping him.
Okay.
This goes on all night. They lose camera angle at one point and the show starts. This doesn't finish. This continues on. They just lost sight of them for the moment. So they go to another thing while they're trying to figure out what to do with that. It's unchanged and they're not really worried about it.
So is this going to continue throughout the whole night? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Oh, it's going to continue out throughout. You're going to get bits and pieces all throughout the night of them continuing their fight all through LA or Las Vegas.
Will you continue it through the night or through the whole weekend?
I would go the whole weekend, honestly. Right. I would go up into the point where Roman Reigns and CM Punk are in the middle of their match, and these two come down in the middle of that match. That's how far I would take it. I would not end it until the very end of the show.
Okay.
I would have no winner. There's no reason to be a winner in a non-sanctioned match.
Right. And I agree with your booking, everything. The one thing that I would not do is have those two interrupt the CM Punk Roman Reigns match. I will have it end right before that, if it was me. But because you're gonna have a lot of shenanigans in that match already, you don't need anything else. Because
that's what I'm saying. You might as well go ball to the wall with it if you're gonna do it.
I understand, but I think that then Drew and Jacob Fatu will get lost in the shuffle if you put him in there. I will let him finish right before this match, the CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I love your idea completely. I could not have booked that any better because I see where you're going with this, and it starts with ESPN catching the eye. So this Logan Paul match, I Show Speed and Austin Theory versus LA and the Usos can now be longer because you can have only 10 or 15 minutes of Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, and then throughout the show,
is let their whistle for it. You're literally going, here it is, pay for Mania. This is what you want to see. This is unbridled carnage. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right, and they, now that I think about it, they did already the tease with this, everything that's been happening. Even in SmackDown, SmackDown some weeks ago when they were fighting throughout the whole show. So I see what you're going to do is
follow up. Last thing you want to do is follow up with a formulated match. You will ruin it. How are we going to have this blood feud and then we're going to tie up and do wrist locks? It makes no sense. You have to take it to that. If you're going to take it to that level, take it to that level. Commit to it.
I love it completely. Now you blew me away, man, with that I could not have booked that any better. So now you have my expectations up here. Don't let Triple H and his team bring it down here for me. Okay.
That's the problem. Is that and I don't think at the end of the day it's all Triple H's fault.
Well,
I think TKO has a lot more to do with it than they're leading on.
I agree, but that's why I said Triple H and his team because it's the whole team. But I just said Triple H because he's the face. Okay.
Right.
All right. So now we start the main show, right? And you have the women's tag team fatal 4-way match. Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus the Bella Twins. All right, you got the book.
All right, let's go with. As much as I don't like them, and I don't like them for a very obvious reason, I think the only way it ends is with the only team that has an actual name, even though their name really stinks in it. Like no two women should be represented as the immovable object. It just makes them seem like very morbidly obese, unattractive things. I don't think that's a very flattering name for a female group.
Yes.
I do believe that they keep their titles. I do believe they win. I also believe you see the Valkyria turn on Bayley when Bayley takes the pin. Bayley will be in the ring heartbroken, and Valkyria will snap and lose it on her and turn against her.
Okay. Do you think
I think the Bellas are just there for a paycheck. I don't think there's anything. I don't think they have any juice left to squeeze.
Well, I this is where I see it. I could see in this one. I can see different options. I can see what you say, but I could see the immovable objects winning. But I could see instead of Lyra betraying Bayley, Charlotte betraying Alexa. I need to see Charlotte back in single actions. She's the most gifted athlete in the women division, by far.
But she's really over as a face.
Or have Alexa betray her. But she's over as a face because she's in a tag team. If she goes in single action, she's not gonna be over. And I think that I would love to see her back in single actions. But anyways, going back, they might pull the trigger on the Bellas, even if it's for only one night and they lose it on Monday to the movable objects, just so they can say that the Hall of Famers were actually tag team champions because they're the only twins tag team in the history.
That is true too. I didn't weigh that into consideration.
So if they were champions before, then I can say no, but they never held this tag team title because they didn't have this tag team title back then. And when the Bellas started, they started with that twin magic, the switcheroo. So I can see it either or. I really don't care about the outcome unless somebody turns on, like you said, that something can be developed from here.
Yeah, this is one of the matches where they haven't done enough to pique my interest in it.
Okay.
It's hard for me to get into female tag team wrestling for some reason.
I like it. I actually like it because I think, I'm going to be honest, I think the female wrestlers, if you look match per match, the female wrestlers are having, for the past year or so, or 2 years, or 3 years maybe, they have had better matches than the men. Okay? And
it's not a knock on female wrestlers. It's a knock on the female tag team. I don't think the tag team division's strong. Well,
they're stronger than the men's tag team division. Okay, they are stronger than the men's tag team division.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
So if you think about it, that's why you have all these tag teaming women now. And I think that if you would have said this a year ago, I will agree with you. But I think they have invested so much in this tag team, this women tag team division, that I could see this. I could see them having a really good match. Okay. But anyways, let's go to the next match.
How do you have all those writers in the back that are tag team specialists, and every one of your tag team divisions is absolutely garbage?
Because I think this is an old Vince McMahon mindset that is still there, that the tag team division doesn't matter.
For instance, tell me the NXT tag team champions right now.
I don't know. I don't watch NXT much. That's me.
Tell me the SmackDown
because
tag
I already
team
watched. Okay, the SmackDown tag team champions are Austin Theory and Logan Paul.
No, that's the Raw tag team champions.
And the Raw. I'm sorry, the Usos then are they? Hold on.
No, the Usos are not.
They lost to Logan and Austin Theory. My bad. I apologize.
This is my point.
My bad. Now, who's the SmackDown Tag Team Champions now? Who are they? I forgot.
Damian Priest and R-Truth.
That's right. That's right. They won it, and Damian Priest
This is
didn't
what I'm
know
saying.
that was going to happen.
They've ruined the tag team division. You don't even care who the tag team champions are.
You do not. You do not. You do not.
And
I agree with you.
it's the vanity project, which those boys have a lot of promise.
Okay, and to be honest, I need to start watching more NXT. I have not been watching NXT because, dude, I got my daughter going to gymnastics. I have her going to singing lessons. All this, it's just, dude, it's a lot to keep up.
Parenting is parenting, man. I get it.
Yeah. All right, but I do go to NXT shows because they come to my town. So every other month I go to their shows. All right, so let's go here to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. And again, I'm gonna say the same thing about. I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch. Let me tell you right now. Let me start off with that. I am not a fan of Becky Lynch at all. But I have to say, this past year, Becky Lynch has been for the women's division what Drew McIntyre has been for the men's division. She has been the MVP. And let me tell you why. Everything she touched has been gold. Nobody cared about the IC title until she became the champion. You know? And that's a fact. When Lyra Valkyria was the champion, nobody cared. Becky Lynch had to become the champion, and she had to start this. I'm the greatest woman champion of all time. Not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated says it. The Bleacher Report says it. I mean, she has become the MVP of the women's division, hands down.
If you look at the Four Horsewomen, which is what the genesis of all that started out as, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Becky have all lived up to that standard. I think the one that really hasn't reached that upper level like everybody else has been Bayley. Right. She's the only one that wasn't really putting that up. And it could have been the injuries. It could have been when her time came, she was injured. And a couple times that's happened to her. This match, I see it as more of AJ Lee's swan song, kind of. This is going to be her losing the belt back, but it's going to be done in a way where she is sent off to the cheers and love and admiration of everybody. She's not a full-timer. She don't want to be a full-timer. So she's going to do the Brock Lesnar schedule. It's time for her to fade away and go away for a little bit. So this is going to be that. This is going to be her swan song.
I agree 100%. She has been dominating Becky so much that if somebody dominates another wrestler for so long, why will you even have a WrestleMania match unless the underdog's going to win? And in this case, believe it or not, Becky Lynch is the underdog because ever since AJ Lee has returned, she has owned Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch can now take the title and move it forward to the next star, whoever that might be. Okay? So I really like it. And I honestly think that sometime in the future, well, not the Intercontinental, but the United States champion is going to be Lash Legend in the future. And I'm going to tell you.
I like Lash Legend. I've liked Lash Legend since she was in the in that team with Noam Dar in them.
Okay, yeah.
She was in a stable with them.
And she's very impressive. She's very impressive. So I
tell you else who I think could honestly come and take that the Intercontinental title though. And it would be good to take it from Becky. Would be Sol Ruca.
Yeah, I agree, but it depends when they're gonna have her come back. You know, because this is something. This title for Becky Lynch cannot be as lengthy as the one before. This reign.
No, she has to. I would have her win it at Mania. Drop it Monday. Drop it to Sol Ruca, who's making her debut on Raw.
And it's Becky Lynch doing like when Paige won the title. Who was the Paige beat for the title at Raw when she made her debut? AJ Lee. It was AJ Lee.
AJ Lee.
It was AJ.
Yeah.
It was AJ Lee. But do something like that. But just Becky Lynch say, "I'm the man. I'm the best. Whoever wants to come out, I'll face you." Like the Honky Tonk Man versus the Ultimate Warrior. And then you have somebody like Sol Ruca come out. Yes, I love it. I love it.
I would even go as far as have a Fallon Henley come out.
Okay.
Fallon Henley would be great in that position.
Yeah.
It's just time to move some of that. You have such a buildup of female stars in NXT. It's
Yeah.
time that you send some of them up. There's too many of them down there. Too many
Yeah.
great quality ones that can actually go down there.
Right. All right. So let's go to the next match here. And we have Becky Lynch, hot husband, like she calls it, right? Seth freaking Rollins versus Gunther. And this is a hard one to predict because this was not supposed to be the match that was supposed to happen at WrestleMania. So
this is actually a hybrid of two different matches that were supposed to be at Mania.
Right. But I think that the and this is something that I truly believe. They talked about Gunther versus Rey Mysterio was supposed to happen, but Rey Mysterio was injured. I don't think that was the case. I think they were holding Rey Mysterio as a plan in case Gunther had to step as a plan B. I think there was something they thought about because of the situation with Braun Breaker. But
here's what I would have done with Mysterio, and this is why anything that they're doing with Mysterio fails in comparison, and I only hope that they have intelligence enough to do this on AAA. When it's time for Mysterio to retire, you put Mysterio versus Dominic, hair versus mask for the AAA World title, and you let Mysterio lose it that way, and that's how he goes off. He allows his son to take his legacy, basically. Yeah, and that's it. That's what they should have done with Mania. Instead of having Gunther, even though Gunther's a career killer, I get what they're trying to do with him, but Mysterio deserves more than that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, to me, I'm sorry, Mysterio was a bigger guy than Cena ever was. Okay. Even though Cena, by popularity and by WWE standards, was bigger. I've been watching Mysterio since 95.
Right.
93, maybe, when he was in ECW. So that, to me, that's more of a more illustrious career, and he deserves more than being choked out by Gunther. That being said, this match, I do believe Seth Rollins gets choked out by Gunther, and I believe he gets choked out by Gunther. After the match, he looks at Paul Heyman and goes, "Now that favor, that thing that I said you were going to owe me way more than a thank you, I want Brock for his career." Period. Well, and walk off.
I knew I knew that that's where they're going with Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, but I don't think he's gonna say it right there at WrestleMania because you still haven't had the Brock Lesnar over Femi match.
But that doesn't matter.
But here's the thing. Remember this thing: Triple H and this era, they like slow builds. Remember when CM Punk, he owed him the favor, Paul Heyman. That took a while. I don't think they're going to go the same night because they're throwing out too many wrenches on the same night. So I think this something's going to be a build. I think they're going to let Gunther go out and either take his vacation that he always does or have him feud with somebody, and then later on you bring him back.
Or you could also do this. You could have Seth Rollins in complete control. Finally going to vanquish Gunther. Finally going to put him down. Set up for the stomp. And as soon as he sets up for the stomp, gets attacked by a masked man. The masked man unveils himself as Braun Breaker.
And that's the way I had it when you were talking about it. Have Braun Breaker help Gunther win, but you still owe Gunther the favor later on. You feel me?
I'm leaning towards that as more of a... Again, I didn't write any of this down. I'm just booking it on the fly. But I think that's going to be kind of the angle that we're going with there. I do believe that if Braun Breaker runs the interference, you then spin off to the Seth Rollins-Braun Breaker feud, and you could have Gunther harassing Paul Heyman for a month or so, setting up the big favor that he has to ask. Like every time Paul Heyman's on screen, Gunther's just lurking in the background. Always omnipresent to, you owe me something, don't forget. You get what I'm saying?
When they do the backstage, he's in the background somewhere, and you see him.
Right. You know how WWE loves that background stuff where you always got to watch in the background for everything. He's always there watching Paul Heyman.
I agree.
And you can have this go on for months. He's just always there, omnipresent in the background of whatever Paul Heyman's doing.
Yeah, and as you know, Gunther's just a special attraction now, like Andrew the Giant was. So he's not going to fight every week or anything like that. They're going to have him off for some months backstage doing nothing or just, in the background, like you said, and they'll go from there. All right, let's go to the next match here because this is the forgotten match of WrestleMania, in my opinion. This is the Women's World Championship match between Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. And I'm going to tell you why this has failed in multiple levels before you start booking, okay? Number one, they haven't given them the spotlight like they have the other matches. That's one thing. But another thing, the only way that Liv Morgan works as a heel is when she's going against Rhea Ripley. Anybody besides Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan's gonna be the face because people love Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley up here, then Liv Morgan are the two top women's stars in the WWE. And I'm talking about in the fans' eye, above Becky Lynch, above Charlotte Flair, even though Charlotte Flair to me is the best wrestler. These two are the epitome of the women's division. So they made a mistake having Liv Morgan going against Stephanie Vaquer, in which they were building Stephanie so good, and all of a sudden they started having her a feud with Liv Morgan, and she has fallen completely off the map.
Obviously, history is history, and usually if you win the Rumble, you go on to win your title at WrestleMania. Very few have failed. I mean, they do fail, but very few have. And I don't believe that this changes with this. I think Liv Morgan does walk out with the championship, but it's the after effects that I'm more interested in. The night of, let's say she beats Stephanie Vaquer, but I don't like that either, though. You don't want it. She's so over, it's almost impossible to book her as a cheater because they're not going to buy into it. And if you send the other two out,
can I tell you how I'll book it?
Yeah, because I just say Liv winning, but I don't see where you take Stephanie after this.
I'm gonna tell you how I'll book it. Stephanie wins the match, and I'm gonna tell you how. This going back to continuation for some months ago. Raquel Rodriguez cost Liv Morgan the match. Raquel cost her the match because you're staying back, Oh, you cost me before against Stephanie Vaquer. I'm going to cost you now. And then that's when Liv and Raquel start feuding from here. I believe Raquel's going to cost her the match. And Liv actually is going to stay with, what's the name? The little one. I forgot her name. Roxanne Perez.
That's her name. Yep.
They're acting like Roxanne and Liv are going to feud. I don't think they're going to feud. I think it's going to be Raquel and Liv Morgan who are going to feud.
Or do you let Roxanne and Raquel boot her out of? No, but these two have Dominic there. That don't work either.
It's not going to. Exactly. That's why Liv has to stay in Judgment Day. The way it's going to work is Raquel's going to betray her, but Raquel's actually turning face. Okay? She's turning face.
I don't like that either. I don't like Raquel as a face.
I don't disagree with you, but her anger, it can be like a Diesel Shawn Michaels. Okay? It can be like a Diesel Shawn Michaels. Even though she's gonna be the face, people are gonna like Liv Morgan better. Okay? But this has to end between these two. Between them two, it has to end. And this has been happening for a while, unless the other route is have Liv Morgan win and you set this up for something like SummerSlam. And that's when Raquel cost Liv Morgan her title after she had a reign throughout the summer. I don't know.
I genuinely believe that this match is a mess. Yeah. I believe that this is horrible booking from beginning to end on this. I think the way it was played out to begin with, it kind of sunk the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick with Liv winning. Okay. I just don't know where any of these pieces go after that. Yeah. Like, do you do the Randy Orton evolution thing where they all come out after she wins and Raquel has her up on the shoulders and Roxanne Perez gives her the thumb down?
You can't do that. You can't do that because she got Dominic. Dominic's the biggest heel. As long as she's with Dominic, And you cannot have Dominic betray her. You cannot have Dominic betray her this time in the card, because then she will come and betray him when it's his turn. Okay? You cannot have him do this yet. So I don't see Liv
And
leaving.
Dominic's so damn good at what he does, man.
Oh yeah, yes he is. Yes he is. He's the best heel. But I cannot see right now anything happening in which Liv, Liv leaves Dominic. So we'll see. This is the one that confuses me the most. But let's go to the main event of Saturday night. All right, you have Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship versus Randy Orton with Pat McAfee out of all people. I was hoping it was Kevin Owens.
Okay, let's just retro book this for a few weeks.
Okay.
Let's go back to where they're bringing out Pat McAfee. Now let's pretend that never happened, because we all agree that was absolutely horrible. I don't know why, and I understand why they did it, and I understand the political stuff behind it. But how much cooler would it have been if it was time to reveal the man who was behind the phone calls to Randy Orton, and instead of anybody else they thought it was going to be, it was Bob Holly. Bob Holly comes out after Randy Orton gets thrown out of the ring and Cody turns around to pick up his belt. Bob Holly is there. Bob Holly hauls off and punches Cody Rhodes and starts laying in the shots. He goes out to ringside. He grabs a chair. He comes back in with the chair and he just continues to pound on the back of Cody Rhodes. Just unmerciful, over and over and over, like brutal. The whole time Randy Orton's cutting up a promo about how you wanted me to listen to the voices in my head. Well, now I am. And they told me to take it back to where it starts. And where did it all start? It started when we betrayed him. So now I'm giving him the chance to do the one thing he hasn't been able to do. Get even with you. As he's unmercifully just hammering him with the chairs. Fast forward to the night of WrestleMania. Bob Holly is in Randy Orton's corner. Cody Rhodes, Jelly Roll's nowhere near any of this. Neither is Pat McAfee. They're off filming something on ESPN. Like, they're nowhere near even remotely by this. So Cody Rhodes is about to put Randy Orton away when a masked figure appears on the top of the apron. Whap! Back of the back with a steel chair. He goes down. Randy Orton RKO 1, 2, 3 wins. The guy gets in the ring and continues to just beat Cody Rhodes unmercifully with the chair, and he's unmasked as Ethan Page. They stand united as the coalition to end Cody Rhodes.
You know who I would have loved to be? The one who was the masked man? And it's impossible. But I would have loved it to be Dustin Rhodes.
Or even Ted DiBiase Jr. would have been great.
Ted DiBiase Jr. would have been great, but I think Dustin Rhodes would have just hit home so much more.
I landed on Ethan Page because Ethan Page and Cody Rhodes are really close friends.
Yes,
so you want to kind of keep that.
But again, I must say, Dustin, that's his brother. And even before Ted DiBiase Jr. has been out of wrestling for so long. You know, and the funny thing is, when they had Evolution, I thought Ted DiBiase was the future. That's who I thought was the one when they were in Evolution. That was the money one. That's the one that I thought that was going to be the superstar of the team.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I would wholeheartedly agree with you at the same time. Everybody thought that Ted DiBiase Jr., just like, I'm sorry, we all bid on Michael McGillicuddy. Take away from the stupid name, he was still Kurt Angle's son. How do you miss on Kurt Angle's son or Kurt Hennig's son?
Kurt Hennig, yeah.
How do you miss on Kurt Hennig's son?
And he was a good wrestler. He was a good wrestler. That's the sad part. Both of them were. But anyways, I like what you said, but now I gotta go back to where we at now. Which is Pat McAfee. Do we have to?
It's so horrible, dude.
We have to. It's Pat McAfee, is Jelly Roll. I think they're going to have the shenanigans between those two, right? And I think that Randy Orton is going to become even more savage at WrestleMania. and he's going to beat Cody Rhodes with the punt. He's going to punt him. That's the one thing that he hasn't done yet. He has not, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I have not seen him punt Cody Rhodes yet.
No.
He
don't pull out the punt very often.
Exactly. He's going to punt Cody Rhodes, and he's going to beat him. He's going to win the 15th title for multiple reasons. Historically, being a 15-time world champion, and also, if he loses, Pat McAfee can never return to WWE. And I think Pat McAfee has to return as a commentator somehow. Because when he's a commentator, just a regular commentator with Michael Cole, I love Pat McAfee as a commentator. I'm gonna be honest. I love it. I'm not saying he's the best, no, but he's entertaining because he's over the top. He's over the top.
He's not Booker T level.
But he would never be Booker T level. Because he does not come from a wrestling background. He doesn't have to be that. He doesn't have to be Bobby Heenan. He does not have to be any Jerry Lawler, any of these guys. He doesn't have to be any of them. But he's unique to what he does. And
he brings a flair to it.
And you can always bring Pat McAfee for big events. If he's saying he's not coming back, I wouldn't like that, to be honest. I would not like that. You know? All right, so let's go to Sunday. Let's go to Sunday in the first hour in ESPN. This is going to be on regular ESPN, not ESPN2. It's going to be the IC Championship ladder match. Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, Rey Mysterio. This is going to be a slobber knocker.
Okay, let's get rid of the obvious person who's not going to win this in the room, and that is Rusev. He's going to be the base for a lot of the high flying stuff. I don't like Penta in WWE. I love Penta everywhere else. I do not like Penta in the WWE system.
But they have been doing a better job lately, this last month or so. I agree with you, but this last month or so, they have done a better job with Penta.
I think they've damaged him so much, though, that I'm not ready to overlook what they've done in the past.
I don't disagree, but I also think that they still have a chance to fix him. And I think they have a chance to make him the next Hispanic superstar next to Dominic Mysterio. And I think him and Dominic Mysterio are going to feud for many years, like Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. Okay? But I would love to have him go back to tag team with the Lucha Bros, with his brother, and I would love for the WWE to invest in the tag team division then. Okay?
Yes. And another one that I like him, but he botches every damn time I watch him, and every move that I see, I'm just like, it's not even remotely, I can't suspend disbelief that much to believe you made contact with him. Dragon Lee. The guy misses everything. Yeah. Like, he tighten up a little bit. He would be great if he just tightened his movements up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I do believe that Javon Evans has a major future in this business. He reminds me of a very young Rob Van Dam.
Okay, yes.
But injuries also come with the style of wrestling that he does. Winning this match, I'm gonna say Javon Evans. I think Javon. They're gonna give it to Javon Evans. I think it's his crowning time to have that achievement. Yeah, I think Javon Evans takes it.
Okay. I'm going to give you my top 3 people that I think can win. Because in a match like this, you got to have more than one. Because it's so hard to predict. I believe Javon Evans is the favorite to win. I agree with you. I think he's the one that WWE has been pushing. I think Penta can retain. Because if they're going to turn the switch on Penta and start pushing him, he needs to win this match. Or Rey Mysterio is about to win, Dominic Mysterio comes down custom, and JD McDonough wins the IC title.
Oh, that was the other guy. My bad. You're gonna have to edit that, but that was the one I forgot. I'm sitting here trying to remember. And I had a picture of his big head in my mind, and I could not think of who it was. And I'm like, I know he's in Judgment Day, but for the life of me, his name would not come to me. I mean, you could edit out that word, but it caught me off guard. Literally, that's who it is.
But I'm gonna tell you why. There's so much continuation. JD McDonough wins because not only the Dominic and Ray, they could always revisit that and then go to Triple Eight, like you were talking about earlier, right? But then you can continue with Finn Balor and JD McDonough feuding for the IC title. Okay, so
that makes a lot of sense.
I could see it like that, but I still think Javon Evans is the favorite. But if I were to book it, I will go with JD McDonough and giving his crowning moment because he has been such a hard worker for the WWE and has been the underrated person in Judgment Day. And I think you giving that title, imagine him and Dominic, the only two dudes in Judgment Day now walking with titles all cocky. Now they're both even. It's not like
we did it all by ourselves, and all we have with us is a bunch of females. We didn't need any other men. We did it ourselves.
And there were the two young guns in Judgment Day.
They were the two everybody kind of overlooked. It was like, oh, well, they need a lot of help.
At the beginning. And now they can say, we got the titles, we got the women. Like Ric Flair, woo, I mean,
we got everything we need. We got the titles, we got the women, we got the money. How can you beat us? You can't. We are the Judgment Day.
And the more that I think about it, I'm liking that JD McDonough.
I really kind of like that idea.
Yeah,
I think that might be the best book of that one.
Now let's go to what I think might be the best match of WrestleMania, or might be the worst match of WrestleMania. That's how either side of the spectrum this match can go. And it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi.
And it comes down to who you let win this match.
Yep.
If you go in and you allow Brock Lesnar to destroy a future monster like Oba Femi, you are throwing away a possible blue chip prodigy. You're going to have to rebuild him from the ground up, and he will never have the steam he has right now. Now is the time you pull the trigger on Oba Femi. You have him destroy Brock Lesnar. This match does not take more than 5 minutes. You have him absolutely destroy You have him absolutely destroy Brock Lesnar and aim straight for a world title. Because at that point, there's nothing short of a world title that matches something the caliber of the monster Oba Femi.
So are you saying kind of like Goldberg when he beat Brock Lesnar, a really fast match?
I say,
remember
really
Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar, but I know this is gonna be a little longer than that one because that one I don't think he even made it to a minute. No,
it's not one move and done. It's not we're gonna hurry up and just shoehorn this in because it's going to suck. No, you make it a brutal fight. But at the same time, you have Brock Lesnar fall to Oba Femi. And you can even go as far as have Paul Heyman look amazed at how he derailed Brock Lesnar. You have him become a fan of this monster that he is seeing now.
I agree with everything except for one thing. The one thing I don't agree is him going for the title right away. And I'm going to tell you why. Making like Gunther a special attraction. I'm going to tell you why. You push him for the title right away, people might get tired of him right away. And because then who can beat Oba Femi? I agree, Oba Femi has to win this match. I'm not saying he has to lose. But if you push him for the title right now, who will be able to beat Oba Femi?
I'm trying to think of who beat him in NXT.
I think you need to have.
Am I wrong? I think Trick Williams beat him.
Yes, but Trick Williams and Oba Femi are two different brands right now. I think the way you go, and this is me, you wait a year to make him a champion. He beats Braun Breaker next year for the title. And now you have a WrestleMania that everybody has been critiquing that the old guys have been the main eventers at WrestleMania. Next year, you have Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar Sunday night, the last match of WrestleMania, and Obafemi becomes the champion. You do like you did with Stone Cold. Stone Cold had to wait until he made it to that WrestleMania.
Okay, but what's your face heel dynamic on that?
My what?
Your face heel dynamic, because either way,
okay.
I mean, technically, Obafemi, he's kind of a heel.
Yeah, no, Obafemi's a face right now. He's a face. Obafemi's a face. He's probably the biggest face. I mean, when he started, every time, but every time he started, he just two over. But Obafemi can start beating pricks. He can start actually feuding with the Vision right after Seth Rollins. He can start going one by one, okay? And that takes months to go one by one, okay? Until you get to Braun Breaker. Obafemi will have to be a special attraction like Gunther. Obafemi can actually be the one to beat Gunther after Gunther beats Brock Lesnar. Okay? You can have that feud. But I will not have him touch the world title right now because you don't have nobody to contend against him. And you cannot have one of these old guys like CM Punk. You cannot have Seth Rollins. You can't even have Roman Reigns be Obafemi. He has to be a young buck. He has to be somebody.
But Roman Reigns with a new improved family, a new improved bloodline would work.
Yeah, but everybody's going to say why he's burying Obafemi. That's going to be the complaint. So I honestly think you can have a Trick Williams. You can have a Braun Breaker be the ones that beat him later on. And maybe Trick Williams is the guy later on, you know? Because Trick Williams...
I would keep Trick Williams far away from Obafemi. I think that was an NXT necessity kind of thing. Honestly, the person I would give him the loss to would be a Javon Evans. David and Goliath. You can't beat me, you're too little.
I don't like that. I think Trick Williams, I think if you... And I'm not talking about right now. I'm not talking about a year from now. I'm talking about a year and a half, 2 years from now, because Trick Williams is going to be the face of WWE. How do I know Trick Williams is going to be the face of WWE? Look at his work. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of... No. He reminds me of a young Rock. Look at how he carries himself. Look at how he speaks about himself. Even the move when he looking like he's doing all this slow movement like The Rock.
See, I see King Booker. Every time I look at him, I see King Booker.
You probably see it because of the dress, but no, he is the next Rock. Trick Williams is the next Rock. Even when he comes and he's looking down and then he looks up, he just reminds me so much of what The Rock used to do back in the day. That's what he reminds me of. But okay, we're gonna stay in this match forever. So this could go anywhere.
This is probably the best booked match, and it's had the least amount of booking. It's just two big guys who want to fight, and that's what wrestling at the end of the day is: two big guys who want to fight.
It's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be simple. And
good guy, bad guy, fight.
Yep.
One winner.
Yep. That's it.
In the story, it doesn't have to have all the all the stuff around it. Just let it be what it is.
Yep, I agree. All right, let's go now to the main show and talk about Trick Williams. United States Championship match, Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. Let me tell you one thing before we start with this one, because I got to get this off my chest. I'm hating the fact that for 2 years in a row, Sami Zayn has taken the spot of somebody who deserved it more than him. Last year, he did it with Chad Gable against Gunther. I truly believe last year, Chad Gable should have been the one to beat Gunther because they were building him so much. And he was the one always coming short against Gunther. And this year, you know, it shouldn't have been Sami Zayn. It should have been him versus Trick Williams. Let the Young Bucks go at it. Let them go because they have a history. They have a history.
Who does Carmelo? You could have told that story. That story would have been so easy to tell. Two guys who came up in NXT together. They've strived for their dreams together. They're here now. One is him, and one is Whoop That Trick. and now they're going to collide. Who does Carmelo Hayes remind you of?
You know what? I don't have nobody in my mind right now. Who does he remind you of?
As weird as it's going to sound, and it's an old school WCW thing, and you have to think back to when he was in WCW.
Okay.
Jericho. When he was doing the Man of 1,004 Holds, and level of Jericho, where he was innovative, but at the same time, there was still that underlining, is he going to play it fair or is he going to take the coward's way out? That is something, every time Carmelo's in the ring, I have that. It's almost like a sleazeball aspect to him. Like, you're doing it by the book, but I still believe there's something grimy underneath the surface. You're not showing us your true intentions.
Now,
and that's the vibe I get.
And I can see that. I can see that. That's before he started whining Jericho that he was getting mad because he was losing in his booking.
Exactly.
But could this be this match between Trick Williams and Sami Zayn? Because it's already going that route, and this is the way I would book it.
The double turn?
The double turn. The double turn. You have to. Trick Williams is so over right now.
Here's where I think the big problems in this match lie, and there's a few of them. One, how do you exclude Carmelo Anthony? Or Carmelo Hayes, rather. Carmelo Anthony's a basketball player. But how do you excuse Carmelo Hayes? He needs his spot, and another person who deserves their spot and don't have it is Ilya Dragunov. Both of them at one point in time held up this United States title and really held it to a level that it hasn't been seen before. So how do you then remove them from this U.S. title picture and go Sami Zayn, Trick Williams single match? Even though I hate all the double or the multiple matches, at the same time, give them the chance to show they're on the biggest level there is.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't see it happening because it didn't happen with Shaq Gable last year.
Nope. And it's not going to happen.
So you know one thing that I could see, though, besides the double turn, is Trick Williams winning the title. And either at WrestleMania or on Friday Night SmackDown, he comes to the ring, he grabs the mic, and he says, the United States Open Challenge is closed. That's how you turn him a heel. Keep him as a heel.
Do you want to keep Trick Williams as a heel?
No, I'm not saying you have to because you're not going to be able to, but this might hold it up for a little bit more. This might hold it a little longer. Because I think and this is why I think Trick Williams reminds me of The Rock. When The Rock was a heel and he started with the Nation and being all cocky and all this stuff, people started cheering for The Rock then. People started believing in The Rock. And they had no other option but to turn him face. Even when he won the IC title, he was a heel, all this stuff. And this is what has happened with Trick Williams. I think this might still keep Trick Williams as a heel a little longer. People are not going to get tired of him. People are going to love Trick Williams because he is, and that's what I'm saying, he reminds me of The Rock. He is the next Rock to me. And when you got somebody with that talent, you're not going to hold him back. So I think you can wait a little longer with him, have him run with the U.S. title, and say the slimiest thing, the U.S. Open Challenge is closed. Dude, you keep him as a heel for a little longer.
I also believe that you could do the beer money spot here and totally get it over to a huge degree. Obviously not with a beer bottle, but you have something sitting there. You have something sitting on the steps, and Sami Zayn's fighting with himself whether or not to do it. And he has that one chance, and that's when he takes the opportunity to do it. And that's how you turn him heel.
Yeah, you can't because people been booing
because he cheats to beat Trick Williams, and I hate it. And I'm sorry, I don't believe that Sami Zayn works better as a heel. Sami Zayn works better as the fighting underdog babyface.
Right, he's a face. But I think that people are tired of the same story. Same thing happened last year.
Yep.
I think Sami has to lose this match. I think Sami has to lose. He won against Gunther last year. I think he has to lose. I don't see a way that Sami Zayn wins, even if it's like that. I think he becomes a heel after the fact. Y'all boo me. I lost my title because I was playing by the rules. Now I turn to a heel.
Now, do you give Trick Williams his moment when he wins, or do you have him attack him right after he wins?
No, I give him his moment. This is gonna be a build with Sami Zayn, which might lead him, which might lead Sami Zayn back to the bloodline. Okay, because we're getting all these people who betrayed Roman back with him, right?
Yep.
Sami Zayn was the first one, wasn't him? So it might be this way. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next match. This is the match I'm looking for. Dominic Mysterio versus, finally, he's back, the Demon Finn Balor. I can't wait for this entrance. This gotta be the entrance of the rest of the weekend.
First of all, why do you ever introduce a character coming out as a special character? What makes you eliminated the element of surprise right there?
Right, I agree. They should have never had done that. They should have never even announced it. He should have came out as a surprise. I think they're trying to sell tickets. That's why they did it. I think the ticket sales are so bad right now that
not to agree with CM Punk, but lower the prices.
Well, listen, I have to agree with CM Punk because the prices are extreme, dude. I wanted to go to WrestleMania this year, and then I saw the ticket prices plus the flights plus the hotels. I'm not doing it.
No, it's literally you're taking out a second mortgage for one night of entertainment. It's not worth it.
And I was gonna do it because it's the last WrestleMania in God knows how long to the next time they come back to the United States. Because next year they're in Saudi. You never know now. They want to go international with this thing. So I would have thought this WrestleMania was gonna sell out fast because of that. But I don't know.
I don't think it's going to sell out. I genuinely don't. I think they're having such a problem with ticket sales, it's not going to sell out.
And I'm still waiting because they dropped to 25%. I would not be surprised they dropped to 75% this week or 50% this week.
Because I can see 50%.
It's next week. It's next week.
I obviously am taking Balor in this.
Yeah.
This is his I don't need the Judgment Day moment. I think you get JD McDonough getting involved, but I don't think it's enough to stop.
But continuation. If JD McDonough wins the IC title and they screw Rey Mysterio can come and fight JD McDonough outside.
Right. And that'll also you could also set up your Dominic Mysterio thing there, and you could have your there's a lot you could play with. Obviously, Balor's going to win this. There's no way that Dominic Mysterio is going to walk out with the win over Demon Finn Balor, especially because they've already killed the Demon character twice.
Yeah.
This is really your last chance to make the Demon character anything remotely special.
And they should have never killed it. They should have never have.
They've completely ruined it twice. This will be the third time. Let's not screw it up this time.
Dude, I'm looking at WrestleMania prices right now, right? For 2 nights, third row from ringside, $11,537. That's with 25% off. That they ain't getting my money.
Who has that just to throw on 2 nights of entertainment?
This is for millionaires. Look, I got it right here.
Right. They don't want it. They don't want the normal fan to be there anymore. They just don't. They're pricing us, the regular fan, out of wrestling.
And look at this. In the 400 area, $1,000, $982. That's $1,000.
Yeah. Not counting fees, you're looking at $1,100.
Listen, when I went to WrestleMania 37 for both nights, I was sitting in the 100 area, right down there, and I believe I paid $125 for both nights. You know?
Greed will absolutely kill your company if you do not know how to monetize properly. And what they are trying to do is they're trying to force ticket sales on a market that honestly you haven't shown us enough.
Yeah.
Show us that we're going to get something different than what we've gotten every other time. Because if it's going to be the exact same thing I saw last week, I'm not going to pay that much to see it.
Right. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't been as invested as I should be in this WrestleMania. But anyways.
No, they lost me.
Yeah. All right, so Demon Finn Balor, I agree with you. He has to win this match. And it doesn't hurt Dominic to lose. Dominic is a guy he can lose every week. He's like The Miz. He can lose every week, and he will not lose steam because he's such a good heel. Okay? All right, so last two matches. WWE Women's Championship match. And this is a match I'm very intriguing. This is one of the matches that I'm very, very intrigued. Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. If you would have asked me in January when the Royal Rumble was happening that one of the women's title championship match was going to be Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill, I would have told you this is going to suck. And somehow, this is the opposite of Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. And I'm actually invested, very invested in this feud. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that these two women are so big and they look the part, like a Brock Lesnar over Femi, but on the female side. And let me tell you, I cannot wait to see a Jade Cargill versus Lash Legend, you know, because they look like this is gonna be a UFC fight, okay? And they gotten so personal. They gotten so personal in this feud that I'm very invested. So I'll give you the pen and the paper. How will you book this?
Legend and Rhea started out, or not Legend and Rhea. You're mentioning Lash Legend so much. It's on top of my brain.
Yeah, Jade Cargill.
I am not a Jade Cargill fan. I'm just not. I've tried to appreciate what she does, and I've tried to, and I really wanted to. She reminds me of Storm from the X-Men. She's really kind of got that like mystique about her. I just cannot. To me, her wrestling looks clunky.
Well, let me tell you,
looks like she's still figuring herself out.
Let me tell you, I would agree with you a year ago. I disagree now. I have seen so much growth in her. Ever since she left, you know, Bianca got hurt and she's now with Naomi. I think she has found herself, especially in this feud. I think she has found herself. So I would agree with you, but if you put a Jade Cargill promo last year versus a Jade Cargill promo now, or a Jade Cargill match last year versus a Jade Cargill match now, I mean, it is heaven and earth. That's how much the difference is. So I am invested in Jade Cargill right now. I'm admitted.
That being said, I booked this as follows.
Okay.
You have Jade Cargill and her two girls, B-Fab and Michin.
Yep.
And you have Rhea Ripley on the other side and Io Sky. Throughout the middle of the match, straight one-on-one match. You know the outside people interfere every now and then. You know they're spatting back and forth. Well, when it all breaks down after a referee bump and everybody's in there battling, all of a sudden Bianca Belair comes out. Now everybody's expecting Bianca Belair to jump to Jade Cargill and to attack her, but no, she turns around and levels Rhea Ripley. Jade Cargill picks up the win, and you now have a 4-woman faction backing Jade Cargill.
I absolutely love it. I think
now she's the baddest female on the planet, and there ain't nothing you can do. I got all my girls with me.
And I think that, I'm going to tell you what, honestly, I think that WWE is going to go the other route. I like your booking better, but I'm going to go back to Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan being so popular, especially in Triple H. Triple H even said that Rhea Ripley might be the biggest superstar in WWE. Male or female. She's the biggest superstar, he said. And I would love Jade Cargill to win this match. I am invested in Jade Cargill as a heel. I'm invested of seeing all these women together. And I would love to see Bianca be part of this, so then they can build in the future for Bianca and Jade Cargill.
You start dropping them building blocks of Jade Cargill being the boss because she's in charge, but Bianca wanting the role, wanting that championship, wanting that opportunity, and doesn't know how to get that opportunity. Then you give Bianca Belair the Money in the Bank. in the whole time, now Jade Cargill's watching her back because Bianca's got this and could turn in at any second. So she's trying to get her to turn it into the other promotion. Oh, we can run 2 promotions at one time kind of thing. And you can have that going for a year.
Yeah.
You can have that go until next Mania.
Because you can have Bianca go to Raw. You know?
Yeah. And if it's built up properly, I'll even go as far as you unify them titles at WrestleMania.
Yes.
You have Bianca Belair's versus Jade Cargill's, and that is a WrestleMania match that is worthy of being a main event on night 1. Then you have your women's main event.
Listen. Even if, unless you have Oba Femi and Braun Breaker as a night 2, that could be the night 2 main event. Okay? That could be the night 2 main event. I love it. I hope Bianca's healthy enough to come back. I hope she stays healthy. I truly think that Jade Cargill needs to keep this title. They just started going with this staple with her. The staple with her. You know, Mi Chin and what's the other one's name? I forgot her name.
B-Fab.
They just started that, and I think that you can have this. And if you add Bianca to it, just imagine a Survivor Series match. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, B-Fab, Mi Chin, which you know Mi Chin likes her weapons, right? Versus Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and now on their side, back with her, Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Or you remove one of them and you put Naomi in that spot because Naomi comes back and wants to get back at Jade Cargill, and by then her baby's gonna be done.
No. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep her away from her. You know why? Because Naomi needs to be a heel.
I think Naomi's better as a heel too.
Naomi's best work was as a heel. She needs to come back with this danger personality. And now that tells me Stephanie Vaquera has to keep the title, dude. Naomi has to take it from her.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the way it would work. Now, for the big one.
Yeah, let's go for the main event. And this is what I'm waiting for because I know you got something cooking there. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Go ahead.
Or, as we're going to... I genuinely believe we see the rebirth of the bloodline here. I believe you see nothing but shenanigans from the beginning to the end. Anything and everything to keep Punk down. Punk keeps getting up. Every time Punk gets up, he gets knocked back down. At the end of it, I think Roman Reigns and the reunited Usos, and I don't know if I put Sami Zayn in it just yet, but I definitely put the Usos in it, and I even go as far as to put Solo Sikoa in it. Now, mid-match.
Well, hold on. Before you continue, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I would not put Solo Sikoa yet, and the reason for it, the way they built the bloodline originally, right, was one at a time. You can put Jay and Jimmy together. Right now, start with Roman. Then you start bringing like the Solo Sikoas in. You start bringing the Sami Zayns in slowly.
This is where you have Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre reappear.
Okay.
And during the middle of the melee, they end up in the ring with Punk and Roman. And they're fighting amongst themselves. They're not worried about Punk and Roman. But as Drew goes to throw a Claymore kick, Jacob Fatu ducks, and he nails CM Punk. As CM Punk staggers back up to his feet, he gets speared by Roman Reigns. 1, 2, 3. You just lost at WrestleMania. It's all Drew's fault. And that war reunites and kicks off all over again because CM Punk cost him at Mania, and now he's cost him at Mania.
I love it. I'm going to tell you what I was thinking as you were talking, because I didn't think about this until you started, talking about it. So you sparked some things on my mind. I would have loved, this is what I would love. If Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu do come to the ring fighting, right? Roman Reigns CM Punk's beating the hell out of Roman Reigns, right? And Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre both stopped fighting, beat the heck out of CM Punk together. Because Drew McIntyre hates CM Punk, Jacob Fatu is part of his bloodline, right? They beat the hell out of CM Punk, then they go outside and go fight again. We were together for 30 seconds beating this dude up that we hate. And then they go back outside and fight, and that's when Roman Reigns comes and spears him. But I would love it to be intentional and not a mistake.
Right. And that's how that whole segment ends. There's no real winner to an unsanctioned match. There doesn't have to be. It's unsanctioned.
Yeah.
You know, and then you mix in the backstage edits of John Cena having the worst night ever because he's been cursed by Danhausen, to the point where they kick off night 2 with John Cena coming out. He all looks disheveled. His tie's all messed up. He looks like Paul Heyman anytime bad luck hits Paul Heyman. All right? He looks like he hasn't slept in 24 hours.
He's been vomiting all night.
Comes out. Right. And Danhausen comes out and he goes, look, I will do anything. Just remove the curse. I have not been able to sleep. I ate bad catering. I've spilled coffee on my new suit. I just lost a role that was going to pay me $3 million to film. I need the curse removed. And Danhausen's like, all you have to do is let me be the co-host of WrestleMania Night 2. And Cena's like, I don't care. Whatever. I will give you half my money. Just take off the curse. And Danhausen goes, fine. You're not cursed. And that's the way that whole angle plays out. Danhausen gets the co-host Night 2.
I love it. I truly love it, dude.
WrestleMania ends not on a high note. Not on a high note with Roman Reigns walking off as the champion and all the shenanigans that led to CM Punk losing.
Well, hold on. I think that would be a high note because the fans are I'm more invested into CM Punk, but the fans are more invested into Roman Reigns for what it seems lately. So I think the crowd's gonna leave happy. Roman Reigns win.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the crowd,
that's how I would book.
I think the crowd misses the bloodline. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely do. That was a very hot period. I mean, I understand that all hot periods have to end, and you didn't want it to run on like the NWO did, to where it just lost its luster and nobody cared. But there was so much more you could have done with that angle. And I'm sorry, they missed that opportunity to give Sami Zayn that world title. That would have been the time to give him the world championship.
Yes, I agree.
But this is how I would book WrestleMania.
But let me ask you a question. Do you think that they might be shooting themselves in the foot starting against the bloodline? Because now they might lose steam. People might say, oh, we're going to start over with the bloodline. Even though people miss it, they might be cool for the first couple of weeks or so. But when they start seeing Roman not being there, you know? Like
CM Punk's not there every weekend. CM Punk's not there every weekend.
But CM Punk's not there every week, but CM Punk is there 2 or 3 times a month. Roman Reigns is there.
He's more consistent than Roman Reigns is. However, he's not a full-time champion either. And in order to get the title to younger talent, we need an overhaul with younger talent. We need younger champions. Period.
Yes, I agree.
And right now, we don't have anybody built up that we can really put them titles on.
Now, when you build the bloodline back up, are they heels or faces? And I'm going to tell you what I think after you tell me.
I have the Usos turning heel. I also have Sami Zayn turning heel. But I don't believe anybody's going to ever really root against Roman Reigns again. I think Roman Reigns has reached that level of mystique, kind of like a Flair. Kind of like you hate to like him. You get what I'm saying? You love to hate him and you hate to love him. And I think that's where Roman Reigns is. So I would kind of say he had to be a heel.
So I agree. I do think, though, that it has to be a face. Or you start as a heel and turn him as face quick. Because I think the guy to be Roman Reigns is going to be Braun Breaker. And he's with the Vision. And the Vision has to be a heel stable.
I'm sorry. I think you got to kill the Vision. I think you absolutely not necessarily kill the division, but you have to remove Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed from the division. Then what you do with the division is you give it to Jake Paul, I Show Speed, um, Austin
Austin
Theory.
Theory.
You can
But here's
you
the
can even
thing.
put
But here's the thing. You're not thinking long term. If our goal is to get to next year WrestleMania, Braun Breaker versus Obafemi, as big as Braun Breaker is, he needs backup against Obafemi. He needs to be a heel.
you give him the Steiner treatment. You let him go off like Scott Steiner. Go crazy. Level
Right.
everybody. You have
Yes,
this
but
monster and that monster. And what's going to
yes,
happen
but
when they collide?
yes, but you still need to have him as a heel. I to get Oba as over as he's gonna be, you have to have him as a heel, and that's when you start having Oba feuding with the Vision, taking them all out one by one. So I think the bloodline have to be faced so that Braun Breaker can be the one to take it away from Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman having the last laugh.
Good point.
So
Now, are we going to do a show after Mania where we go over everything?
yes, yes, we are.
I mean,
And
obviously
we'll-
it won't be right after Mania, of course, but
No, right, because I'm not gonna be here on next weekend. I'm gonna watch it from a hotel, which I hate because I like to watch it here in the big screen and everything. But I'm gonna be in a hotel. My son made it to the speech and debate state competition, so the state finales are next weekend.
nice.
I wish it was any other weekend, but it's that weekend. I gotta support my son
It's
before anything else.
got to be a weekend that's the most inconvenient weekend, but as part of being a good dad, you're like, well, looks like my plans have changed. That's okay.
Oh yeah, and we'll watch it from the hotel room. We still have fun. And my son goes first. He knows that. He goes before any WrestleMania. So just in case I end up missing WrestleMania for some reason, we have to give it a couple of days. And yes, we can do it after. Okay, definitely.
Oh, yeah,
And-
definitely.
Okay. So, hey, dude, man, I had a lot of fun. We can make this, something more frequent, and we can keep doing this, okay? And we go from here.
I
okay?
would love to do any of that, like as far as like wrestling reviews and stuff, because I don't have, like, I do other podcasts, but I don't have a lot of wrestling friends anymore.
Me
So
neither.
to have for somebody that we can actually talk about wrestling, I'm like, oh, this is back in the old school days. This is magazines at the lunch table. That's what this
Right.
is. This is
Oh.
Day Trader.
One more thing that I forgot to tell you. Going back to Trick Williams closing the U.S. Championship Challenge. This is when Trick Williams, as a coward heel, bring back the rating system, the rankings. You want to be my challenger, you got to be the number one challenger. I'm not chasing anybody. You have to be the number one contender. So Nick Aldis, you need to start getting these rankings. People got to beat each other to face me because I'm the champ. That's the way you bring that back. And you bring him being as sneaky heel, he brings legitimacy to the IC title.
Yep.
I mean,
And
the
you
United
have
States
him
title.
you have him come out with the list on a tablet or something, and he goes, look, you don't measure up. So
Yes.
no.
You are not the number one contender, buddy. Like the list of Jericho, you're not the number one contender.
Here's what you do though. You have to go find him a lackey. That way when he
Yes.
goes, you don't even measure up, but you can fight him. See if
Yes.
you can get past him first.
Exactly.
That's all you have to do.
I'm telling you, this is the way to go with Trick Williams. This is the
I
way
think,
to go.
honestly, I think we could save the WWE a lot faster than they could save themselves.
Well, I want the people watching this podcast, let us know in the comment section. Do you like
Yeah, let us
our
know how we
booking
did.
Let us, if you like our bookings, if you do not, we don't care if you say you liked or you suck. Just be, or we sucked. Be honest with us. We don't mind it, okay? Just be honest with us, and we keep doing this, okay? Let us know you like more content like this, okay? All right, Don, Dollywood Don. It's been a pleasure. And guys, Don, you want to give your social medias out for people?
I don't really do social medias anymore. I am on the
Me
Tick
neither.
That Talks and the You That Tubes. That is under BCITS. That is B.I.C.T. Yeah, I spelled it wrong there. But nonetheless, it's BCITS on TikTok and YouTube. I do a podcast. Other than that, I don't do social media. I kind of keep a very low profile now and kind of just hang out and do my own thing. But you can get me on those two.
Me too. And so, guys, it's been a pleasure being here with my brother from another mother. It will be till next time, guys. So see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.